continue this year and snowplow as is with the 6304. And then for next year, we're gonna have this
Okay.
action. That's the plan. And I think I wrote it in my note. I'm trying not to read all these notes because I get a lot of hassle up here because I read too much.
Yes, it is in here.
Okay.
Proposed plan.
All right. So now we'll go to the chief.
If we don't mind, let's take care of the pure stuff to talk about, and then do the numbers quick.
Okay.
First one up, is for, Mr. Doug Tracy. Address is N8773, Wilmer's Point Lane. I met with Mr. Tracy the other day and looked at his plan, and, I believe it falls within the ordinance. And basically, he's extending the pier by approximately 5 feet when you're physically there and look, to do it. So I would have no problem with the board approving, Mr. Tracy.
I'd like to make a motion to approve pier permit for Doug Tracy at N8773 Wilmer's Point Lane, PWW 00020A.
Second.
And then the second one is for Diane, whoop,
Wait, Sorry.
I'm sorry.
So that's two, right? We got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, pure permit passed.
Next one is for Miss Diane Day, at N9043 East Miramar Drive, on Potter Lake. I spoke with her on the phone, she was under the weather, so I couldn't actually meet with her, but she did give me permission to go down, to do a site survey. And again, I have no problem with what they're attempting to do. It's not gonna be outside the ordinance as it appears.
I'll make a motion to approve the beer permit for Diane Day at Miramar Road, ED 11000007F.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Pure permit. They're putting in a permanent here. Oh,
For September, our numbers were a little bit up by over, looks like 100 calls for service. We're getting busier, the guys are keeping themselves busy. We've had a couple of internet crime cases, some fraud, and some other stuff I'd rather not discuss, that the officers are following up on. So it's not stuff that everybody sees, doesn't make the paper, but we're dealing with it just like every other community. So make people aware of that. And last but not least, just kind of looking for an okay from the board to have Todd put the light blue squad on Wisconsin surplus to get some money back for it. The last squad, we reached out to Ewald. I believe they gave us a fair offer for that squad and we sold it to them. This time, however, they only offered $5,000. Looking on Wisconsin surplus, 2020 and 2021 squads with more miles than what we have, we're getting over $5,000. So I guess I look at it as, if we put it on Wisconsin surplus with a reserve of $5,000 and we get $5,010, it's more than we were gonna get from Ewald. And I just wanted to run that by you guys in case anybody had a different suggestion or a better idea. But Ewald seemed pretty low.
Or seller's fee on Wisconsin surplus, what's that, 10%?
It's 10 or 15%, if I remember correctly.
so that's to be over
Yeah.
5,500.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Can we do this without being recognized? Right, so we can't do it here. It has to be the next meeting.
Special meeting.
or the special meeting would be.
Which we have to have before the 31st.
I'm sorry?
We're having another meeting before the 31st.
Not a problem, and like I said, if that low ball number was not low ball, I think we would have just taken care of it. But because it was so low, I didn't wanna come back before you and go, I sold the car for 5,000, and then you'd be mad at me. When we sold it for 7, so.
You said September's.
I see that I went August, so my numbers are wrong, and that's why I moved on quickly from that.
So it is just August, it's not September.
It is August,
Okay,
that's correct.
So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
No, you're not, I'm missing it.
Okay, that's cool. Anything else for the chief?
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
And the kids from Jefferson and Delavan, thank you for indulging me so I could finish reffing their last game of the year.
I was telling them you said you weren't gonna wear your ref clothes in this time, so.
No chance I'm gonna give Mr. Stas an opportunity to harass me.
I had nothing to do with it.
I'm teasing.
I know you are.
10
Yes.
10B is the resolution, the TAP program. Let me go through that quick. I tried to give you as much information as I can do. They're talking about the jurisdictional trail that runs through from the village of East Troy, through the town of East Troy, up through McWanago, up to near Indian Park. I think that's where the target was planned. We originally talked about trying to use the railroad right away, and they poo-pooed it and really weren't that happy to be a part of it. So it looks like the way the plan has come through, they're looking at running it along the opposite side of the railroad on ES. And both Supervisor Church and I were participating like a tag team on this one. So fill in if I say something wrong. So with that said, there was an MOU that you will find in the packet. I put it in there so you know. This was signed by Chairman Klarkowski on October 23. So we were on board with trying to put this trail in at that point, and we showed town interest in 23. With that interest, they went and got funding to do the trail design, which I'm sorry, but the link that's in the sheet is not valid, apparently. They change it every 30 days. So if you want the link, we can get it to you, but understand that in the memo, the link I gave you is not gonna work. Effectively, it's about 6.5 miles, and most of it's through the town of East Troy. So, what I included in this, and it took me a while to figure out what was going on with the spreadsheet, we are going to do the split evenly cost per our original MOU. So we aren't going to be unfairly charged because most of the trail is within the town of East Troy. They're gonna split it. It's important enough to them that they're gonna split part of that cost.
Except for
Yes,
the ongoing maintenance.
there is plowing and things that are gonna have to be done. So,
Bear the brunt of that. And I don't think that was ever pointed out in 2023.
okay, no, we do have plowing. I think we talked about like a,
Weed whacking or whatever, I don't know, but.
Yeah, there's gonna be quite a bit of cost that's gonna incur with the town with keeping it up.
okay. go ahead.
At the meeting, it was discussed, plowing was discussed. It was talked about that it could the trail could easily be closed during the winter. That could be defined, that they would put, notification up at both ends and along the trail, So that is something that would minimize our maintenance costs during the winter. Now, it doesn't stop somebody from going out and using the trails to walk their dogs, to snowshoe, to cross-country ski. But it does relieve some of the expectation that it would need to be plowed, and a majority of that plowing would have to fall on the town.
There is no motorized vehicles on this trail either.
Including
Unless
snow plowing?
Unless it's being plowed by
Snow.
a truck.
Yes,
So, okay, so they're gonna go to the east side of ES?
It's still gonna be on the west side. In the county right away.
county right away.
Oh, so between the
Railroad
ES.
and ES, yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you said, I thought you were saying it was
Yeah,
going
that's
to the
what I
other
thought.
side of the road.
What happens on this
Yeah.
bridge here?
It is going to the.
Opposite the railroad.
Opposite the railroad, not the road. Not,
It is on the side
So, no, it's-
opposite,
It's gonna be on the east side.
no, it's gonna be on the west side between the railroad and Highway ES.
no, it is no longer along the railroad
Wait.
at all. So it is
So
totally
you-
on,
Okay, so it's on ES, on the east side.
Yes, yes.
What do they do in the swamp? What are they doing in the swamp? Carl Sawyer Swamp?
that is, it would take some engineering to figure that out, but that part they felt was feasible. The village undertook a feasibility study with Strand, and Strand Engineering said the east side actually worked better than all of the, road right-of-way issues on the railroad side, because there was more property to acquire, and, that it's not swamp, it is the sensitive area along ES by the railroad, by Sawyer's there, would be taken into consideration. There was
And then
less
the
of
east-
it on the east side than there was to manage on the west side,
Really?
yes.
Well, it had a lot more to do with the railroad not
Yes.
wanting to participate.
There's gotta be way more wetlands on the east side, wouldn't you think, Todd? Way more.
Yeah, it's been between.
That's
the
all you
west
got
side.
at Sawyer's is that pond, is there like retention pond or whatever you wanna call that.
Yeah.
Well, you've also
But
got the
you've
stuff
got
that goes
from-
past.
You gotta go from basically where his storage shed, I mean, his house, I mean, all the way to,
Almost Army Lake Road.
yeah. That's
It's
all
all
swamp,
wetland on,
right.
actually kinda both sides there have wetland, but there's more on the east side than
Way
there is
more
on the
on the
west
east
side.
Yeah.
And then you
And
get
then-
between where SRE storage is on ES and that other section of storage, and it goes way down.
So,
And
I'm
what
not
about the
the
three
engineer.
residents that came to us?
What'd you say?
What about the three residents that came to
That's
us?
Honey
That's-
Creek,
that's Honey
that's,
Creek.
That's way over.
that's
That's
off
different.
of 120.
So where
This
would-
is all along, yes, this is the town, the village of East Troy to the village of McGuire
Right.
Trail.
I understand.
Even though the Honey Creek plans to eventually attach to that, that was not part of this discussion.
Yes, sir.
so is this asking us as a board tonight if we wanna continue with this?
Yes,
To
if you can let me finish after we had a little discussion. So the way this worked, we went through a TAP grant application 2 years ago?
Correct.
So 2 years ago, that would be the 23 when we signed the MOU. We went after that grant, we got it, and that's where the design came out.
Correct, the village
This,
has taken.
this has been broken into 5 sections to maximize the amount of money we can get from the government on TAP grant. You could go to 4, but then we probably wouldn't get as much. The plan is that we would be paying 20% as a group. And in each of those categories, you can kind of see what the costs are gonna be. We would go for 5 more tap days. This is probably gonna take over, my feeling is 10 years.
Probably.
Because you get the money and then you gotta try and do it, and so it's probably a 10-year project. And you're looking at, for the town, we're gonna do this equally,
567K for each of us.
no, oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's 200,
The grand total here, right?
yes, and it breaks down below that it did this a while ago, so I'm just,
Was
it is
a
567.
$2.3 million, project at the end.
Right,
And-
you can see it over here, the total project, what it would cost, it's in the
4
six
million, yeah.
well,
5.7, yeah, 5.7.
right, and it's gonna go up as time goes on.
It started out being 2.3.
Yeah, so it's going up. So the point that we're here to talk about is they wanna go after a cap grant to keep moving and taking each construction step. The town, the village of McGuanago already signed their MOU at the board, and it is a MOU, not an MOU, it is a resolution of support, right? That just says we're behind this and we support the TAP grant, the objective is to get the money. It still doesn't diminish that we would have $500,000 targeted over 10 years, 50 grand a year, roughly, we would be signing up for. In rough numbers, right now, that's what we're looking at.
Oh, so this isn't just for the first, it's for the whole thing? They
Well,
want,
it is the first, we're just applying for the first one, but
but a commitment.
probably there would be another resolution for the next phase, just so that all 3 groups are involved in it and backing it. So that is what was asked of us to bring forward here. And I tried to cover it as best I could in the summary.
We went to 5 phases because initially, when Strand did the drawing, they had the trail, meeting up with the village of McGuanago's sidewalk about the Elegant Farm, where the subdivision in Strawberry Fields has their sidewalk, which takes, people all the way down to Indian Head Park. The village of McGuanago said, we really would like to see a little bit more of the village having a real path and not just a cement sidewalk. So that's why it became 5 phases, and the 5th phase would go from the Elegant Farmer to McGuanago's Indian Head Park. I discussed this at the park committee meeting, and Ken Zess and I would like to encourage the board to positively consider reaffirming with a resolution, the memoranda of understanding that we would do this jointly.
I have a question, if I may.
Absolutely.
When did the trail move from the west side to the east side?
About 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, about end of August.
Yeah.
Okay, cause memorandum of understanding still talks about
The trail,
obtaining a license from the railroad.
Right.
and I had a question about
Okay.
that. But the railroad has chosen not to be involved at all and asked that we, remove them from a participatory, member.
Okay.
They did not attend the last meeting 6 weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
Break this down for me, what is this gonna cost us right now?
Nothing.
$5,000 for our part of the planning grant.
Well, we owe money
Yes.
based upon, that's what you're talking about.
Yes,
So we already received a grant. That's one thing I didn't put in here. So we're on the hooks for $5 grand, is that what it is?
about 5.
to support what they've already done in planning.
This
The
sounds like
MOU
street
is
car
just to allow them to go for
in
it.
Milwaukee.
It's really to go for, we're interested enough, we're gonna put our support behind it and support them getting their tax grant. Obviously, you know, it's not desirable for them to see a trail that goes nowhere.
Right.
But nonetheless, I don't know how you tackle this unless you tackle it in phases like this over 10 years,
Sure.
10 or 20 years.
And we'd be responsible for the maintenance on this thing?
It would be,
So,
Each,
okay, so the village is getting the most out of this thing than we would. Why wouldn't they just cover the maintenance? That's my only thing on this. We shouldn't have to pay for this. They're benefiting the most out of this.
Well, you could argue Village of McWanago benefits equally the same.
Right.
Exactly.
Could
So
also
they should be
have
paying-
another-
They should be paying, the
You
village of McWanago and the village of East Troy should be paying for all of that, in my opinion.
You also should consider the fact that we are connecting 3 communities into counties, and we would like the counties to somehow participate in a way.
we haven't found a good way yet, but
That is.
We're connecting them at taxpayers' expense, our
But,
citizens' expense though.
but it provides a positive, healthy alternative to riding along ES, and there are lots of people who ride their bikes, who have their seated bikes, that, or who even walk along ES, and the ES is one of the most dangerous highways, because the speed, if you've driven ES, which you had to get here, very few people, I think, actually do the speed limit of 45. And the speed along that highway, along with the type of traffic that ES has, makes that a potentially hazardous road for bikers, walkers, any other recreational activity. Children, yep.
so I don't know that we're making a decision to support full maintenance on this. Are we saying that?
We're not there yet, we don't have a trail.
Right, so, it could be a point of discussion.
Renegotiation,
Yeah, I would wanna
Well,
renegotiate that,
we
because,
haven't gotten there yet.
okay,
We'd like to apply for the TAP grants and to ensure that we get those so that the trail is actually developed. And Strand felt very positively that if the municipalities reaffirmed the memoranda of understanding that we would rank high in trying to acquire the grant as we acquired the planning grant, they are looking very favorably at this project
They are, it's connecting 3 communities, so.
across 2 counties.
And if you look at the total cost as this goes up, it's 20% that we're picking up. We do have right-of-way costs that are over and above that, but for the most part, we're kicking in 20% versus the 80% the state's doing to get this done. I think we can renegotiate at some point in the future, maintenance. Was there another item that somebody made a comment about that I missed? It's on the east side of the road, which was.
Oh, I just, the memorandum of understanding is gonna have to be revisited anyway,
Yeah.
to take the railroad out of it.
I was gonna ask about that, but we hadn't gotten there yet.
And it says right in that document, nothing in the memorandum of understanding is binding, it's not a contract,
Right,
as it
right.
is, so.
Correct. And this resolution isn't binding either.
No, it's not.
It's just a motion of support.
So
Yeah.
we're
I'll
gonna
make
bind us
a
to,
motion, we approve resolution 2025-9 to support Wisconsin Department of Transportation 2026 to 2030 Transportation Alternatives Program application. to the
Second.
East Troy to McGuanago multi-use path.
Second,
The only other comment I was gonna make was, I don't even know what I was gonna say now. Must not be important. Any other discussion?
I
Okay.
was going to say, that by passing this resolution, it would bind us to that $5,000 is already owed.
I think we already agreed to that $5,000.
I just wanted to make it understood. You had asked if we have any, it binds us to anything. That would be the only thing it would bind us to at this point.
Which we owe already, is that what you?
Technically, it would be really bad to pull out, I think, at this
The
point.
clerk has it.
Okay, yes.
What is the timeline on that payment?
Do you remember?
I kept asking that was, I thought it would have already been issued, but, apparently it hasn't. I
think
thought
it's
it did,
I think it's before the end of the year, right?
yeah, I thought so.
It's not included in this year's budget.
So we'll have to, I don't think it was known what it would be when they were planning.
I don't think they knew when it would come up.
Only give us some time to get our cans out, get to the corners.
So,
I'll buy a lottery too.
we
We
can,
have a motion.
we can ask it to move it, well, we'll see when the invoice comes in and we'll see what we can do, whether we have to move it or whatever. So we have a motion and a second, right? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Do that.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-10 approving the 2026 special charge for garbage and refuse collection for the town of Detroit.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have a garbage resolution.
I'll make a motion to move the budget hearing in November town board meeting to November 17th, 2025.
Second.
We're doing that primarily because we're gonna have we have to have two notices before the budget hearing. And if we don't move, to that third week, we won't be able to support that with an October 31st deadline on us getting our budget together. So we thought we'd move the board meeting with it instead of having two separate meetings. So, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we'll move it to the 7th.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Booth Lake Memorial Park budget as presented.
A second.
Yeah, you made a comment that it's even a little less this year, right? So I think it feels pretty good.